Your father frowns. Shoto smiles. King Todoroki sighs. You and Heroes laugh. Happy to reunite once again. Hero taps you on the shoulder, his lips dramped up in a smile. Once everyone's eating now, it's time to step two. He picks up his fork and takes his big spoon of the food in front of him and shovels it into his mouth. Everyone looks at him in surprise. You swear you could see Bakugo hold back a laugh. Hero hums, his mouth full. This is delicious. He glances at the mess on his revealing shirt and shrugs. You can't hold back your laugh. You see Momo giggling beside him, but she immediately stops when her mother winds her eyes at your brother. My compliments to the chef, you say, copying Hero, making a mess and just enjoying the food. Shoto chuckles softly, taking a bite of his own food. All the kings and queens at the table look either confused or disgusted, but King Musukai looks embarrassed and enraged. You're confused yourself when King Todoroki shoots a glare at your father and takes a huge bite, and just keeps going. Gross, Prince Ida says, a hint of amusement in his voice. Your manners are disrespectful. He then picks up his fork and shovels his food in, copying your, manners. Ridiculous, Prince Katsuki mutters, but then glances to his mother and starts to eat like a pig. She scoffs him, but then looks around the room at King Todoroki, Shoto, Hiro, and you, and even Yaoyorozu has forgotten her manners. She joins in, perhaps revealed to drop the manners and just eat. Yaoyorozu's parents don't join in themselves, but they laugh along as they don't say anything about it. King Musukai sits at the end of the table, the only one who eats with his manners, internally fuming at his children. You continue to eat. Sprung at a glance at Shoto, you find he's already looking at you, and despite how repulsive you look right now, you blush. You have a bean on your face, he says, bringing a hand over to your cheek. He wipes it off, then flicks it at you, grinning. You playfully gasp, taking a bean yourself and flicking it onto his face. Usually, your aim is terrible. And recipes me. And the bean hits King Todoroki in the chest, slowly sliding down his shirt and onto his lap. You know you should probably apologize, but when Shoto starts laughing, you couldn't hold back. And at first, you think the king is about to start yelling. But instead... Oh my god. Okay, sorry, this is making me laugh. He takes a handful of beans of his on his plate and hurls it at you. You dodge, leaning into Shoto, and they all hit Hiro instead. That was how it started. Suddenly, beans are flying everywhere, along with whatever else was served for dinner that night. Momo and Tenya are enraged in a brutal noodle fight. Noodles are flying through the air as the two laugh. They're caught in Momo's hair and draped over Tenya's glasses. Hiro has decided to take on an explosive Prince Katsuki, who is pummeling your brother with some sort of vegetables. Joke's on you, Hiro shouts, throwing a piece of green. I love vegetables. Meanwhile, King Todoroki is just launching beans at everyone, and you and Shoto team up to take on the king. Beans, noodles, vegetables, everything on the plate. Everybody stop! King Musukai is at the end of the table, face red and his mouth in a scowl. He's breathing heavily and pointing at King Todoroki. You, he says. This is all your fault. The Flame King flicks a bean at your father, and somehow his face gets redder, and you swear he's going to explode. Instead of exploding, however, he storms out of the room. Everyone is quiet for a few seconds, but then each other's food covered in faces with bean-stained clothes, and the room erupts into laughter. A single bean is all it took to break the tension in the room. A single bean to bring together the kingdom. A single bean and a really big mess. As the maids take the plates away, marveling at the mess the royals have made, everyone chatters until King Todoroki clanks a fork on his glass. Everyone, he says, looking around his food-covered guests. Please take your time changing and cleaning up, then please meet in the room next door. I have questions to address and some rules to lay down. Everyone nods, filling out of the room, and you look at the aftermath of the intense food war. Noodles and who knows what else is tangled in Momo's hair, but she doesn't look too upset about it. Her parents shake their heads, but they're in a mess too. The whole time they threw food at each other in love. The Bakugos are pulling carrots out of Katsuki's hair, an invoke concern of taking on Hiro. King Todoroki and Shoto pluck off beans off each other, not talking about friendly at all, seems. Tenya is attempting to wipe the noodle juice off his lens of his glasses, laughing with his parents. You smile at Hiro. The plan worked, it seems. Well, the food fight wasn't planned, he laughed. But hey, you can't predict anything. Yeah, you agree. But man, is it good to have you back? Likewise, Hiro says, hugging you. You hear some beans squash between you, but you hug him back. You see Takashi in the corner, and he walks up to you, wiping tears from his eyes. Oh my gosh, he laughs. You have no idea how hard it is to hold in a laughter. You glance behind him and look at all the other guards who are laughing too. If only you would have joined in, you joked. Takashi chuckles. If I was included in that food fight, no one would be left standing. Oh? You lift an eyebrow. Oh yeah, just imagine it. The guards versus the royals. We'd win for sure. You nudged him playfully. I don't think so. Well, you argue. Royals have much more pent-up anger and frustration. Unleash that on a battlefield. Enemies eliminated. I guess you do have a point, but we'll still have an advantage. Everyone goes to their respective rooms to change, hearts filled of happiness, and bodies filled with dinner.